host on WMAL right now.
Yourself?
No. It's great to talk to a colleague and a friend, and obviously we're celebrating all the success here at Abish Financial. It's taken a lot of hard work to get to this point, obviously. For those of us who have been able to see you grow and take these steps, this is an extraordinary leap that you've now taken. Can you, Abe, take us back to 2008 when you first started here? What inspired you to pursue this career? Because, you know, people, I would think that people who come of age and have an inkling and a knack and a talent for investments and financial planning and that sort of thing, there's a lot of different avenues you could take, but you specifically wanted this niche to help people specifically in retirement in this portion of their lives. Why?
Yeah, that's true, Larry, but that didn't happen right away. When you're 22, 23, when I got into this business 23 years ago, who you're helping is your buddies who are thinking more about beer on Saturday than their 401k and IRA, and that was the truth. I mean, you just can't start helping people that have millions of dollars when you're 23 years old. So I actually started my career in 2003, about 22 years ago, and worked for a very good financial planning firm in Reston, trained under one of the best stockbrokers in the entire DC metro area. And I did everything for him, paperwork, everything, and just learned a ton. And what I learned in my first 6 months of being in the business is a couple things. Number one, you can have all the designations in the world. You can be the smartest advisor in the country. But if your message isn't getting out there, you're not helping anybody. And so this gentleman that I mentored under would fill the rooms at Maggiano's in Tyson's Corner. You know, those are big banquet rooms at Maggiano's. Hundreds of people. And he was getting his message out there. And I don't know that he was the smartest advisor in the office, although he was very smart. He didn't have 15 letters behind his name, but he was making an impact and helping people. So in my first 6 months, I realized that. In my first 6 months, I also fell in love with this business because of my why. We grew up in a strong faith-filled house, but with little financial means. And my mom would clip every coupon out of the Washington Post. So I set my own mission out to be to help as many people that I could retire with dignity and confidence. And today, I'll get there.
And today, look around you, yeah.
Okay, I'm done with the emotions after this. It just hit me. But today, we've carried out that mission, and our mission as a company is to help people retire with dignity and confidence, and we've done so 1,200 times. We have 1,200 clients that have trusted us with hundreds of millions of dollars, their life savings. People that have worked for 30 to 40 years to get here. Our clients don't play the lottery, and if they play the lottery, it's for fun. They didn't get to this point with a lot of money because they're playing the lottery every weekend. They worked their butts off for 40 years to get here. And so we take this very seriously, and our company mission is to help people retire with dignity and confidence. In my first 6 months of this business, after seeing what we went through growing up, just very little financial means, I said, you know what, I'm going to try to help as many people as I can personally retire with dignity and confidence. So started off in 2003, fast forward to 2008. I remember telling my mom, there was Edelman's headquarters in Fairfax. I said, you know what, Mom, one day, we're going to have our signage on a building. And guess what? This year, for the first time, we have our signage on the exterior of this building facing Route 7.
Wow.
So 2008 rolls around, which was a fantastic time to found a retirement planning company. Wasn't it a great year?
Wait a minute.
It was a wonderful year in the stock market. The markets were down 40%, no big deal, you know. And I said, enough of this. I'm going to brand and build out my company, do things my way. And I learned from some of the top people in the area. And then little by little, fast forward to about 10 or 11 years ago, we made the transition to help people that are 55 and older. There is a huge demand and need for the advice we give. 10,000 of most of you guys in this room, people 55 and older, are retiring daily the next 7 to 10 years in a row. Yet, Over 90% of our industry, you know, the big names that you see, I just mentioned one, the big names, they don't help people with retirement planning. They don't help people 55 and older. They help Americans get to retirement, which is fantastic. It's wonderful. But most of you in this room are our clients, and our clients don't have a savings problem, Larry. Our clients have worked hard for 40 years to get here. They have enough money, and our clients are coming to us because they're concerned with all the things that can mess up this $1 million to $4 million, $5 million.
Yeah.
And so that's how we made the transition, because we feel that the need for advice and guidance out there is lacking. We're one of only a few firms in the entire DC metro area that does this. Yet 10,000 people are retiring daily, and the demand is so great. So that's why our vision is great, because we think we're just scratching the surface and can help so many more people.
I think you're right, and I just want to say what we all just witnessed is what makes Abe and the team here and everything you do on the Retirement Key different and sets you apart, because each and every one of us as clients here at Abish Financial, we're not a number, we're not, you're not in the financial business, even though it says financial services. This isn't about spreadsheets, it's not about graphs, it's not about the market, it's about people. You look at each and every one of us as human beings who need to have that secure, safe life that we've been planning for. And so when you get emotional about it, there's a reason. There's a reason why we're here right now, and I appreciate seeing that so much. So, but why are we here? And when I hear, I mean Ashburn. Why did you pick Ashburn of all places?
Well, Shelly's laughing right now. So, look, we have a lot of people in this office, and I'm just going to tell everybody in front of Shelly that Shelly is almost always right. And Shelly was right about setting up headquarters in Ashburn. See, we were dating. Actually, we first met a decade ago this month. Yeah.
Oh,
I told
wow.
you I'm not going to get emotional again. So I was in Sterling at the time, okay? My brother and I lived together a long time. Then I was renting as Shelly and I started dating. Our offices were in Reston at that time. Before that, they were in Fairfax and actually Edelman's headquarters. So we're dating. We're in Reston, over there by Wheelie and Campus Commons, Sunrise Valley area. And I'm telling Shelly, hey, you know, we're starting to grow. We're starting to help more people. I was working out of a little tiny rinky-dink Regis office that was no more than 200 or 300 square feet. All the files and everything was under the desk so a client could come in and not see anything. And then there was an assistant, and she was slammed up against the window, and there was no space. And I'm like, Shelly, if we're going to grow and we're helping so many more people, we need more office space. But I was looking in Reston. She was in Frederick at the time, and she really believed that Ashburn was going to be the right place. Long story short, here we are. I fought her on it, and now she makes me say that she's always right. So Ashburn, you know, I just said Loudoun County, I firmly believe is, I don't know. I know it's very expensive to live here, but that comes with a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of people here to help, tremendous opportunity. And it's a wonderful county to live and work in. I mean, one of the fastest growing counties in the country, and the community here and the people all around here are just fantastic. Yeah. So we love it here. And then little did we know that One Loudoun is technically supposed to be like the downtown part of Loudoun County. And everywhere there's a blade of grass, the county's growing and building, and we're right smack in the middle of it. Yeah. And there's nowhere else we'd rather be.
Maybe it's growing because you're here. You know, you brought it on.
We're just happy to be a part of it.
It's so funny. I didn't know that answer. That's fantastic. I was sure it was so you could keep an eye on the Redskins.
That too.
Oh, sorry, the Commanders. Yeah.
But we are 4-1.
Seriously.
Hey, how about them? How about them Commanders?
That's
right.
How about that burgundy and gold, right? It's funny, actually. We first met Abe and Shelly down at in Richmond, down at training camp when it was the Redskins, and it was fun. All right, so listen, we're talking about Abish Financial, but you've mentioned a couple of other firms out there, and certainly firms that you worked with. In your mind, what sets Abish Financial Services apart? Because a lot, you know, I'm sure that people call you and say, "Yeah, there's a lot of people who offer what you do. Why Abish Financial Services?"
Yeah, I think two main things separate us and help us to stand out. Number one, a lot of our clients come to us from these big box corporate firms, and they're helping Americans. There's nothing wrong with who they are and what they do. But when you have millions of clients and you're nationwide as a corporation, well, then you can definitely get lost a lot easier, right? We're a family firm with about 1,200 clients, predominantly here in Virginia, although we have clients all over the area. And then we have clients retire and move down south, Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Texas, Delaware, a lot of. But we're a family firm, and one of our 5 core values is that we're a family firm that has an atmosphere of love and warmth. What that means to our clients is that they can come here and not only be part of a fast-moving and growing firm in a good way that is young and hungry and is very good with technology and can keep up with the times, but high touch as well, right? We can control that, and we always will. Matter of fact, I mentioned one of our partners and sponsors, the Impact Partnership. They have about 130 team members. They have the same culture and family atmosphere of love and warmth that we do, and they are 7 times the size of us. So we kind of look up to them in that regards. Number 2, the big way we're different, and I kind of alluded to it already, Larry, is that over 90% of our industry are what we call phase 1 advisory firms. Matter of fact, sometimes I'll say you have financial advisors helping you get to retirement, retirement planners helping you descend down your own retirement mountain into retirement. If you have the same plan you had when you were 30, 40, and 50, I mean, you can just think about that for 2 seconds and know that's not going to be the right plan for you when you're 55, 65, 75. Because it's pedal to the metal, you're maxing out your accounts, you're taking on more risk than you ever have, and you should be when you're 40 and 50. All of a sudden, our clients, Larry, get to 58, 62, 65, and they start saying, oh, I can take Social Security now. Oh, Medicare is right around the corner. Oh, man, I didn't realize I have $2 million now. That was the goal I set out 20 or 30 years ago. And I'm getting a little tired, and I have my grandkids now. And there's a lot of places I haven't been able to travel to. And they start getting the itch, and they should. We talk about the go-go years, slow-go years, no-go years all the time, and our clients are realizing, okay, I've gotten here, I have enough money saved, I have no idea how to get this money out safely, how to have it last me the rest of my life. Do you know why? Because less than 10% of our industry gives advice and guidance in what we call phase 2. Does that make sense? That is how we are different. I think those are the 2 main ways that we're different. Than most other firms out there.
Yeah, it's funny. My 24 and 22-year-old are now making money, and they're able to save, and they're putting it away, and they're like coming to me and it's like, all right, Daddy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm like, yeah, I can't go anywhere near what you're doing right now because I'm in that zone.
Right.
I'm in that zone. So every morning when I get to spend some time talking about Abe Abish and his great team at Abish Financial, and I keep making sure that I mention the team, I'd love to pause for a minute and take some time, or allow you to take some time to talk about that team, because obviously the team is growing. Tell me a little bit about what the team does, what the roles are, and how important the team atmosphere here is in terms of what you're able to accomplish for your clients.
So Shelly actually deals with most of the hiring and firing because Shelly has the best gut reaction and gut what's the word I'm looking for? Instinct on who someone is, and can smell through all of the maybe, stuff that that shouldn't be here. And so she gets the final say. And we have an incredible team. Over the years, we've built out a leadership team. We've built out departments. We've built out team leads, team managers. The hiring and who we bring in this place is definitely the most important decision we make when we hire people, Larry. It doesn't matter if someone's at the front desk, if they're in service, if they're in operations, if they're in relations, if they're an advisor. Every single person in our company is touching somebody when our clients call in, when they come in, and every single interaction with our clients to us is extremely important. The details matter in this business to us, and we see that. And our clients let us know the details matter. Hey, you're not picking up the phone and responding to an email and doing things when you say you're going to do them. How can I trust you to manage my money, my life savings? So we take the details seriously. With that comes a lot of thought and several meetings, a lot of background checks, cross-references to make sure we're getting the right people in here when we hire. So we have, Angela, 5 or 6 departments. We've got HR, we've got operations, we've got marketing, we've got the advisor department, operations, relations, and those are the main departments. But over the last few years, we knew that to grow and scale and build out a firm like this and continue to grow, continue to make an impact, you can't run a business from your hips. You have to have systems in place, processes in place So actually, one of my mentors is here today, Jim Morgan, and he is from an organization called C12. C12 stands for the 12 Disciples, is a Christian business CEO organization that is nationwide, and they were after me for years because I'm a Christian, went to Liberty University, and my faith is important to me. And so several guys in the area were after me, and finally it all lined up in April of 22. From April of 22 to now, we've gone from 7 people to almost 25.
Wow.
You can't do that without systems and processes in place, without departments, without team leads, without managers. Shelly and I can't do this on our own. We have a leadership team that are the rocks of this company, Angela and Sarah. From there, we're building up leaders as we talk, team leads and managers, and we love to delegate and let them run with it because they're fantastic people that are humble, hungry, and smart.
Well, and as you mentioned Shelley's forte, it should also be pointed out. I don't know about you, but my retirement vision includes some white sandy beaches of the Caribbean Sea. Not forever, but for a good portion, maybe January to March, let's say. And so I love that when we come here, I'm ready for my pina colada. I can sit under the wicker in a swing, and it just sort of has that, feels like, oh, okay, I see what I'm aiming for, and that's Shelley as well. It's amazing design here. I've got to think, listen, again, setting Abish Financial Services apart, and certainly in terms of Meredith and I participating in what you do, and also for WMAL to lend our name to what you do. Responsibility and ethics, that's a big part of it, because let's face it, there are some horror stories out there for some people in your industry that have not been as ethical and responsible.
Sure.
I'd love for you to talk about that part of it, and specifically what I imagine to be one of your biggest, I guess, challenges, where, I'm sure a lot of these places are just sort of cookie cutter, It's like, here's what we do for people. And then you have these conversations, I know because you've had it with us, where, my dreams and my vision and my plan for retirement might not be exactly what you would traditionally do, but you're ethically obligated to accommodate what our needs are,
That's
right? And so that's an ethical dilemma, I would think, sometimes. Talk to me about how that motivates what you do and how important that is.
It is, and we're held to the highest standard in the industry. It's the fiduciary standard. In my personal opinion, that can it can become a little washed up, right? Because nowadays everyone says they're a fiduciary. Are they really looking out for the client's best interest? I personally don't think all the time. I mean, if you're working for one of these firms and all they have to sell you is their products and their stuff, is that in your best interest? If they can't go outside of their firm's products? Yeah. I personally don't believe so, even though they are fiduciaries by licensing. Being an independent financial services firm, there is no one above Shelley and I. We call the shots. We hire and outsource money managers, insurance companies, all of our partners. We make those decisions. We have nobody else that owns this company except for Shelley and I. We don't have other money involved where we're being forced or pressured to do anything else. No. It's been through our decisions that have gotten us to this point. When it comes to giving good advice and how do we do that? First off, no one should be receiving financial advice and investment advice without knowing every single thing about the client's financials. Can you imagine going into the doctor's office and them diagnosing a condition and they don't know everything about you? No way. They're going to ask you question after question to make sure before they prescribe medication and then diagnose a situation. In the same light, in the same way, sometimes I nickname ourselves financial doctors, right? And every time a client comes in, they typically leave standing a lot taller, having a lot more clarity, having a lot more confidence. We will not give advice and cannot give advice by law until someone gives us all of their financial information. We get all of their statements, all of their holdings. We want to know about their Social Security, all of their investments, all of their insurance policies. What are their goals? What are their objectives? Are you single, married, divorced? Do you have kids or not? Do you care about legacy or not? How is your health? How long does your family live? All these things we get documented in a workbook. The workbook doesn't tell us everything either, though, right? It's not until the client gets into the office sitting next to us at the conference room table that we truly get to learn who this client is, what they want to achieve, what their objectives are, and we put all of that information together to give good, sound, fiduciary, educational advice. Oftentimes here at Abish Financial, we'll say we educate to a decision. We don't sell our clients. There's no pressure here. Mm-hmm. our advisors are clearly showing our prospective clients, hey, where do you stand now? That's why we call it a where do I stand plan.
Yes.
Where do you stand in terms of your retirement today? Whether you're either working with an advisor or you're doing it on your own. Where do you stand? What are the pros and cons, the strengths and weaknesses of what you've done? Here's where you are today. If you don't change where you're going today, this could happen. Are you okay with your portfolio going down 40 to 50% because you're still invested like you were when you were 40? Well, that's why I'm here, Abe, and the team, because I know that. I need to reduce risk, or I need to buy long-term care, or legacy is important. Taxes. Really concerned about taxes. Well, guess what? Most people don't do the tax planning. They'll say they do tax planning. They'll get you in the door. They'll get your money. They'll start charging you a fee. There's no tax plan. How do we know that? Because we have advisors come to us from other firms who tell us that. So we get all of this information to make a good, sound financial decision for the client, to give good, sound financial advice. We're held to the highest standards of the industry in terms of the advice we give, legally bound to the highest standards in the industry. And then I think what sets us apart at the conference room table is I believe myself and our advisors and our team genuinely cares about everybody in this room and our clients, because we have to see everybody in this room, not just one time, 4 times a year. Well, Abe, that wasn't such a great recommendation. Well, we have to sit there with that recommendation. We want to give advice like we're giving it out to our parents. And I believe our team genuinely cares about the advice that we give. And we're not perfect, but I think we do a great job. And I think a lot of what our clients looking for, Larry, are good growth in the markets, but sleep at night at the same time. And I think that's what we provide here.
Well, I'll also add to that. I don't know about your experience, but I found going through this process, getting our Where Do I Stand plan, having our meeting, and then making decisions, Meredith and I ended up having conversations about our financials and about our savings and about our future that we hadn't had yet. We sort of assumed that, we'd talked in big picture sort of things about what we planned in our retirement, but that process was really great for our marriage and for our relationship to be able to get things out on the table and talk things through. So thanks for that. One good thing about the world we're living in right now, science, technology, and great strides in health and such, is that people are living longer. That's a good thing. But when Social Security was first introduced to America, I think that the life expectancy was
65 years old?
Yeah, exactly. So we're living longer. But that also makes it a lot more challenging to make sure that the money will last in retirement. Can you sort of talk about the challenges right now that our generation is facing, and for that matter, the next generation, your next step of clients that will be joining? How do you approach that?
Some of the biggest concerns our clients come to us with are the concern with higher taxes down the road, market volatility and a big market loss right at the point of retirement. If you think about it, we've been pretty much on a 16-year bull run since 2008. We had 2022, but the losses have already been made up in 23 and 24. So how much longer is this bull run going to last is what we're thinking. So you need to have a proper plan, a proactive plan you get done in advance of a downturn. We have an election in 27 days. But I bet you a lot of you in the room don't know that the last 20 of the last 24 elections, the markets actually went up. So you know what? The markets and everyone in the election cycles in Congress, they don't care about your retirement. You really have to ignore a lot of the noise out there and focus in on and control everything you can in your own financial and investment plan. 20 out of the last 24 elections, the markets went up. Doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat. What does that tell you? Yes, it matters who's president. Obviously, things can change. And depending on who's president, taxes can go up, taxes can go down. That's one of many things that can change. But taxes, inflation, living longer, market downturns, these are the main concerns. And these are what we help our clients with every day.
Yeah, well, and actually, anyone who knows me knows I'm loath to talk about politics. But
Loath.
But you mentioned the election, and I mean, you sort of touched on it a little bit, but if you can expand on it in terms of what the concerns are. Listen, the Trump tax plan expires no matter what. We have one candidate who's promised to let it die. The other candidate would certainly like to keep the Trump tax plan going. You can guess which candidate. But how are you helping clients right now who might be feeling anxiety about this election? Also with regard to how Social Security could be affected by it.
Well, in terms of Social Security was never set up to be the sole source of retirement income. It was supposed to be a supplement to retirement income, and people were living to 65 years old at that time. Now people are living into their 80s. Ida Mae Fuller was the first person who ever got a check. I think she put $23 into the system, and she lived to be 100 years old when people were living to 65 and received like $23,000 over her lifetime. That tells you the problems, one of many problems with the Social Security kind of system, and we might see benefits be reduced in the future. We believe that taxes almost have to go up, and I think that's the biggest story here going into the future, especially the next 5 to 10 years, Larry. If you're thinking about the economy, where are we headed? We've been on this magnificent bull run, and believe me, I love seeing our personal accounts go up. I love seeing all of our clients, every time we do a review, the balances are up, the returns are great. Those make for wonderful conversations. But you know what? Everyone is here because they know when the markets drop, they're likely to lose less here and have more sleep than if they were on their own at another big firm, because the risk here that we take is manageable. It's tactical. The volatility is reduced because of the plans we put together. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest picture and the biggest story headed down the road is taxes going up because of our national debt. 35 to almost $36 trillion in national debt. I've just heard from 2 economists in the last week that they believe that's going to be the story that drives the markets in the next 5 to 10 years. So if you're concerned with taxes going up, as most of our clients are, and you don't have a tax plan with us and a strategy to address taxes and to lower your tax burden on your life savings, get in touch with our team. We'll get it in place for you.
All right, well, while you've got the crystal ball out, I'm also interested in some trends that are out there in your industry, in the financial industry, insurance. Is there any new vehicles, new trends or fads that we should be wary of? Things that might be worthy and interesting, but also you hear about a lot of stuff about new trends that sound really great, but you want to stay away from them.
Yeah, the first one that comes to mind are these robo-advisors. I don't know if anyone has heard of them, but they're basically... There's no human relationship. There is a computer managing your money. And yes, the fees are much lower, but in life, we believe you get what you pay for, right? Are you going to have no relationship with just some software that's putting together your financial and investment plan? That's not who our clients are. So that's a new trend, to just have people do their own thing, manage their own money through bots, if you will. For
like
low
an AI
fees.
Thing?
Our clients are old school. That's why they're here today, having a good time. They want to see us in person. We want to see our clients in person as well.
Yeah, no bot's going to give you those little chicken and biscuit hors d'oeuvres, all right? Those were fabulous. By the way, you're an author now, by the way. Abe's got a brand new book, The Retirement Mountain, 7 Steps to Long-Lasting Retirement. Very cool. And I love that name, The Retirement Mountain. What inspired you to write this, and what should we expect when we all get it and read it?
So I've been working on this book here and there over the last 3 years, and it kind of just came together this year, just in time for the grand opening, which we're really excited about. The reason why I wrote it is for people to understand the differences between what we call phase 1 and phase 2. That first phase of your life, as you're working, you're climbing up your own retirement mountain. Our clients are looking to plant their flag right now, descend down their own retirement mountain. They've been working for 30 to 40 years, started in their 20s, they're in their 60s, ready to descend down into their glory years for the next 30 to 40 years. And the advice and guidance out there in what we call phase 2, the descent down their own retirement mountain, is extremely lacking. 80% of actual mountain climbing accidents happen on the descent, because on the ascent, you're working, it's pedal to the metal, head to the ground, you're not even looking at your accounts. If the markets go down by 50% when you're 40, who cares? You just bought on sale. If the markets go down by 40 or 50% when you're 62, life-changing. So I wrote this book to help people, give them a guide, right? And all the things, pitfalls, challenges that they're going to face as they descend down their own retirement mountain. And I hope it's a Sherpa. I hope we're going to be like the Sherpa to people, you know? I hope it acts as a guide that people can reference as they're in phase 2 to make good, sound financial decisions.
Very cool, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Finally, you and your team spend so much time asking us about our vision and what we plan for the next 5, 10, maybe 15 years. What about you? What about Abish Financial? I mean, give us a peek into your vision for your next 5 or 10 years.
Well,
What's our next grand opening party?
Well, we plan to stay true to our roots. I mentioned one of our core values, which is extremely important to us. All of our team members live it out every day. That's to create a family atmosphere of love and warmth. When every client walks through our doors, when a new team member walks through our doors, that's what Shelly and I want people to feel. And I hope everybody in this room feels that atmosphere of love and warmth. And if you don't feel that, we're doing it the wrong way, and we need to improve. But our plans for growth for the future is obviously to fill out this office space. We're probably going to more than double our team in the next 2 to 3 years. That includes having an in-house CPA, an in-house estate planning attorney, 10 to 15 advisors. Right now, the largest department in the company is actually our service department because we have so many clients that need help. I need money, Abe. They need their investment accounts connected to their bank account and Social Security decisions and all these things. And so our service department is actually the most beefed up right now. And we have about another 20 people that we can probably hire over the next 2 to 3 years to fill out this office space. From there, we plan to have satellite locations, Fredericksburg, Annapolis, Frederick, areas that we can't reach as easily, where our clients don't have to drive. We have clients, Larry, you live in Annapolis. We have clients driving 2 to 2.5 hours each way to get their life savings managed. So we want to make it easier for clients by having satellite offices, including maybe a potential satellite office down in the Charleston, South Carolina area.
Oh.
With all that, look, it's one thing to grow a company and to have great growth, and we're extremely ecstatic and grateful to God for the growth and our clients and our team, but we will continue to stay true to our roots, providing great customer service, providing great value to our clients, helping our clients feel like they are valued and treasured and not a number.
Well, thank God. That's great to hear. Thank you.